So you're single. Now what? This video is primarily for people who just broke up, but if you've been single for a while, guess what? Still applies to you because you're still single. So you may be lost, confused, it may feel like the end of the world. But if you stick with me, watch this video, and do what I suggest over the next few weeks, it's quite possible that the breakup of your relationship may be the best thing that has ever happened to you. Stick with me, I'm going to show you why right now. In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide exactly what to do to go from being single to being not only not single, but happily not single. However, before we get to steps 1 through the rest, we have to go with step 0, which is dealing mentally and psychologically with the relationship that no longer exists. That's right, it no longer exists. It's gone. In the past, untouchable, unretrievable, it's gone. And you have to assume that. Is it possible to get back together? Literally, yes, it's possible. But should you assume it's possible? Absolutely not. Here's why. Number 1, you need to move on in order to take positive steps. Number 2, even if you wanted to get back together, the best way to get back together is to probably forget it and make the best of your life. And there's a possibility she'll see you living a great life and want to get back together with you. But you know what? You probably don't even want that. Most of the time what happens is once you've taken these steps, once you've moved on in your life, and then the girl comes back around, you're onto something better and you don't even want her anymore. And that's actually the end goal. So now step 1, you need to take stock of where you are, okay? Not where you were, not where you'd like to be, where you are. We need a little dose of reality. You are now a single person on the market. You are a product in a competitive marketplace, and you need to make that product as good as it can possibly be. It's quite possible that while you were in your past relationship, you may have devalued your product somewhat. It may be that when you got into the relationship, you were an ambitious, go-getting guy who was in the gym and going out and had a social life. And then through your relationship, you've started to sit at home and eat Cheetos and watch Netflix. And you may have gained a little bit of weight and lost a little bit of muscle. And your wardrobe may be outdated by a month or a year or 10 years. These are things we need to work on. These are easy fixes to up your value instantly, okay? So what can you do about these things? Number 1, if you have been out of the gym and are out of shape, go join a gym and start that habit again. That's step 1. Step 2, for wardrobe. You don't need to revamp your entire wardrobe just yet, but you need 1 to 2 very good outfits. I know as guys, we don't buy outfits, but you know what? We do now, all right? You need 1 set of clothing from shoes all the way to shirt and or even possibly hat, but probably shoes to shirt, maybe a jacket, that you look amazing in. That is awesome. That is absolutely your best foot forward. You need 1 of those for going out at least, and 1 of those for going on a date at least, okay? Beyond that, you can figure it out. But you need 2 very good looking outfits, top to bottom. And it's okay to spend more on these than you do on your normal clothes. These are your first impression clothes. These are your make or break relationship building clothes. You can spend 3 or 4 or 5 times as much on these as you would on your normal clothes. It's okay, because you're not buying an entire wardrobe of these things. You're buying a few select items that are awesome. So a couple of quick cheat codes for these if you can afford them. Get a stylist for your fashion, get a personal trainer for the gym. If you can afford it, it will make the process tremendously easier. Next thing you should do, reconnect with your single friends. If you have friends who are single, who you like hanging out with, they are going to be a great new social circle to get you off the couch, out into life, and meeting new people again. So please, go join up with those people. And if you don't have single friends you like, go meet some. Also, on a mental or inner game level, take a moment and remind yourself how awesome you are. I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek, but what I'm saying is, figure out the things you are good at and remind yourself of all the things you do bring to a relationship, right? Are you smart? Are you artistic? Are you athletic? Are you good at particular things? Are you fun and funny, right? All of these are positive traits. Are there things you can teach people? Are there things, the hobbies that you like to share with people? All of these are great things you bring to a relationship. It's very easy coming out of a relationship to be down on yourself, especially if you were broken up with. Remind yourself how awesome you made it for the previous person and how awesome you're going to make it for the next person. Whenever you're going up and talking to a new person, meeting a new person, you need to go in with the idea that you are offering them a tremendous gift that is you, as opposed to you're hoping and praying that they like you. That mental shift will make a tremendous difference. So take a quick 10 minutes and write down for yourself the things that you're good at, the things where you offer value, the things that you do that make your friends and relationships better off for having you there. Step 2, you need to understand what the actual goal is here. And this is what it is. Your goal is to have an amazing dating life, okay? Your goal is not getting your next girlfriend. It's quite possible that having an amazing dating life will lead eventually to getting your next girlfriend, but the goal is the amazing dating life. The problem is, if you go in with the goal of finding my next girlfriend, then a few bad things are gonna happen. Number 1 is you're gonna start evaluating every girl, every situation as your potential next girlfriend, which means you're gonna put a lot of pressure on yourself, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on the girl, and you're gonna put a lot of pressure on the situation. And all of that is gonna make you possibly needy, definitely less fun. It's gonna make the whole process less enjoyable for everybody, and it's going to just on net decrease the chances of it actually happening. Okay, so that's number 1. It's not really productive. The second bad thing that will happen if you go in looking for your next girlfriend instead of great dating life is that you are very likely to settle. You are very likely to take the first girl who comes along who's a remotely viable candidate, which means you'll end up with a girl that's a lower caliber than you deserve, or you'll end up with a girl you're not really compatible with. You'll just end up breaking up again. You'll end up right back where you started, okay? What you want to find is not eventually at the end of your dating life going amazing, your next girlfriend. You want to find your amazing, incredible life partner girlfriend who is better than anything you've had before. Or if you don't find that, you're happy dating girls who are still better than what you ever found before. That's what we're actually going for here, okay? We're not trying to settle. We're not trying to just rush back out of the dating market because it's scary. We're trying to conquer the dating market. We're trying to come out of the dating market with something that we deserve as our best selves, okay? So don't settle, please. And from experience, typically when guys do get into great relationships, it's not because they were seeking a relationship, it's because they were having an incredible dating life, and then some girl came along that was even better, and they happily got into that relationship. That's what you're going for. You're not going for just good enough, you're going for amazing. Step 3, time to get strategic. You need to ask yourself, what is your amazing life going to look like? How is it going to function? And a prime component of this is where and how are you going to meet women? And there are plenty of options. You can do one or a variety of them, but you need to have an active game plan. Here are a few options. Number 1, day game. Go out and meet girls in the daytime, have conversations with them, invite them on dates, sleep with them, start relationships with them. Great, awesome. Next is night game. Same kind of idea, but now you're going to nightclubs, bars, things that happen in the nighttime, often involving alcohol, but not necessarily. That's an option as well. Next, a very popular option, online dating. Huge these days, right? If you can get together a good profile, get together some good photos. The great thing about this one is if you get it up and running, the volume is incredible. A lot of guys do have trouble getting any results at all from this, but once you get it going, you can get incredible results and they can be very, very repeatable. So that's another great option. Other amazing options, if you are in a school type of setting or other social circle type setting, that can be a great place to meet girls. If you have hobbies that attract girls like salsa dancing, yoga, that kind of stuff, that can be great. If you want to join these kind of social circles and you're not in them, just join groups that meet up and do things. Make yourself go to a different meetup every night of the week for a few weeks. Find what you like, find what has girls, and you can make that your game plan. The point isn't that you have to choose one game plan or another. The point is you have to have a game plan. Sitting on the couch not meeting any girls is not a game plan. Not going out and talking to anybody is not a game plan. You need to put yourself in a situation where meeting girls is possible. You should also probably include into your game plan how you're going to follow up. You should look around your area and find good bars for dates. You should be familiar with these venues. In terms of strategy, beyond just where you're going to meet girls, you should probably scout out some venues for doing dates. Oftentimes, the best venue is a bar near your place, right? Logistics do matter a lot in having dates actually turn into something. But there are, again, lots of avenues here. If there are activities you'd like to take girls on, there are a lot of different solutions that work, but a simple one that absolutely does work, find the good bars in your area that are date appropriate. Step 4, now that we've talked about the strategy, it's time for the tactics. And the overall tactic is very, very simple. What you need to do is you need to put yourself in a situation where there are viable dating candidates, and then you need to do the best you know how to turn those viable dating candidates into dates. This can mean approaching them, this can mean messaging them online, this can mean talking to the group that they're in a social circle and trying to get into a conversation with them. It can mean any of these things, but you need a viable, active plan designed to take you from stranger to date. And you need to go try and execute that plan to the best of your ability. Then, after having done that for a session, whatever that means, whether that's a day or a set of online messages or whatever, then you need to perform some analysis. You need to analyze what went well, what went poorly, and what would you like to adjust and do better next time. And then you need to do exactly the same thing again. Put yourself back in that scenario and try again. And then analyze again and try again and analyze again. And the speed of your results, because I know you want to get an active dating life and not be single and alone as soon as possible, the speed of your results will be dependent on how fast you do those cycles. The more times you go out and analyze and go out and analyze, the faster you will get this handled and will get the life you actually want. If you do 10 sessions over the course of 2 weeks, you will make the same progress as if you did 10 sessions over the course of 3 months. However, you'll end up being single and alone for far less long if you do it in a shorter period of time. So one very good solution for this is to do a 30-day challenge. What a 30-day challenge is basically going out every single day in some way and putting yourself in a situation to meet girls. Every single day for 30 days, right? If you do it quickly, you won't be single and alone for nearly as long as if you do it slowly. Also, if you're able to do a boot camp, it's a great way to accelerate this process and get you there tremendously faster as well. For step 5, we're back to us talking about you dealing with yourself. And there are 2 key components here. Number 1, speed matters. Number 2, attitude matters, okay? The sooner you start, the sooner you're gonna get a result. If you start on this today, as opposed to starting in 3 months, you will get better and get your result probably more than 3 months faster, because those 3 months you'll probably atrophy and mope and get worse, but at least 3 months faster by starting today than starting 3 months from now. So please start soon. Secondly, as I mentioned, you want to get those cycles of going out and getting feedback. Get them on hyperdrive. If you can do 10 cycles a week instead of 1 cycle a week, you'll get your result 10 times faster. So please, 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 you owe it to yourself. Your time, your life is very, very valuable. Make the most of it. Don't wait around. Don't mope around. Don't make this painful experience last longer than it has to be. Take action right now. With respect to that action, how's it gonna go? Well, how's it likely to go is that at first you're gonna feel some friction, right? It's like getting a tire rolling. You're gonna have to push and push and push, and it may not move, and it just barely starts to move. But once it starts rolling, it'll go faster and faster and faster, it'll get easier and easier and easier. The start is the hardest part. You need to put in that initial effort to get it moving, but if you do, it will accelerate to insane degrees. It will get easier and easier and easier, but you have to get started.